Well, hello guys and gals, it's me, your old buddy Mr. Moose, back with another Let's Play, and today a first look at the new game, Ice Lakes. It's an ice fishing game that just came out on Steam on the 19th of April, and it is in beta, and I was lucky enough to get a key so I could take a first look at it. And today I'm going to take you along on a little fishing expedition. Now the game is pretty cool. It's got both single player, multiplayer. You can go online. I think up to 32 people can play together online or over a LAN connection. So it's pretty cool. You and your friends can get in and compete against other. And it is basically a competition game. Most of the settings, there is a little free fishing in it, but most of the setups in this are all fishing competitions. You can set the lake you want to go to, the style of fishing you want to do, and you can set the time limit on the competition. There's a shotgun start. Everybody heads out on the lake and everybody does their fishing. So it's kind of cool. I've done one fishing round just to get the basics of the game, and I'm going to take you guys along with me. So right here, this is the first screen you come into when you load the game up. You've got Start Game Tournament Online, Statistics, Player, Equipment. Under Player, you can come in here and customize your view. You can pick out what avatar you want. You can also pick out your hand, whether you're right-handed or left-handed. You can pick out your outfit that you want to wear. You can change the color of it here by flipping around a little bit. Ooh, that orange is kind of nice. I went with the red just because you guys know I'm a red guy. But anyways, you can change out your hat. You can have the beanies on, or you can have the big furry classic, hat. Big red furry hat. I like that. We'll just kind of go from there for now. But anyways, you can record that. Statistics, you can jump in here. You can see like if you have been fishing on a lake, you can see where you caught your most fish and where you did good. I did my last fish on here. Caught a lot of fish up in this area. But anyways, you can also go back and under player, you can see your records. So if I come back in here, you'll see that I've earned 1,722. I've spent 250 bucks. How much distance I walked. You see the competitions, which I actually won the last competition I was in. So yeah, and then the fish that you've caught. I've caught 27 for 11.4 pounds. Pretty cool. Now as far as the settings on the game, you will want to go through and make your settings however you want. You can turn the audio. There's some music in this. I've got it turned off just because I don't need any copyright strikes against me. You can set your resolution up, how you want it, full screen, all this good stuff here. Under miscellaneous, you can set what language. It is in English and Finnish. And then you can set your zoom speed. You can set your units of measurement. I like everything to be in imperial, so I go feet, pounds. You can set how your camera is. I recommend just leaving it as it is in isometric. All your different formats here, and then your key bindings. Highly recommend you go through and just read through your key bindings, and that way you know how everything is set up in the game. Like that your slush scoop is on R, and that your raise and lower your rod is on F. I'll go through how we do everything in the game, but yeah. So get that all set up, and then the last thing, you probably want to go under equipment. You start off with 1,000 coins. As you can see, I've got a little bit more than that because I have won one tournament. But you want to come in here and probably look through the baits that you can buy and purchase. I haven't really purchased anything, but the one thing that you do want to go purchase some more of is if you want some lures, you'll probably want to buy some lure, which is that you sprinkle this in the hole to attract it. So instead of lures, attractant. And then baits, you've got your worms up here or larvae. You probably want to buy yourself some of these to make sure that you have plenty. Now, I only have like 18 on me because you start with 20. I think they give you 20 red larvae to begin with, which was pretty good, but I ran out of them pretty quick. So buy yourself, the more you can fish with a larvae, the better off you are. Make sure that you have some, and each one will tell you what they're good for. Roach, rudd, Persian carb, brook trout. So just kind of read through, see what they are, and get yourself some of that before you even head out to the lake, because it is like I said, it's a competition. It's a shotgun start. So if you start off and you don't have very many worms and you run out like I did, then you got to run back to the little concession area and buy yourself some more. So, all right, let's get in here and start a game up. As you can see, you have several different lakes you can pick from in your options here. I'm going to use Forest Lake again. That's the very first one I started off with. Settings, you can tell what time of day you want to fish, what type of year it is. Is it winter, autumn, or spring? And then the duration of the fish, I'm going to set mine to 30 minutes. I think I fished evening the last time. And over here you can select your game type. You can go with total weight of the amount of fish you caught, the total amount. You can say total amount of a certain species. You can do biggest fish, 3 biggest fish, the most species, or you can limit it to it's a perch only contest or something like that. And then of course there is free fishing. We're going to go total weight on our contest today and set it up 30 minutes. We're fishing on Forest Lake. Let's get started. All right, here we are in the beginning. It's very important that you pay attention to where you start off. This area right here with the little green circle, this is where you start and where you finish. And this is your bait shop right here if you need to come back and buy bait. All right. All right, so it is isometric camera, so it kind of, hold your right mouse button in, spin around, and you can see where you're going. Everybody's headed out here onto the ice, finding a place. I'm going to go back in the same area I went the very first time because it did pretty good for me. Somebody's already poaching my area up here. I might have to hurt him. Get off of my ice. No, I'm just kidding. We'll come right here and we're going to auger down. So we'll just click on this button and we'll start drilling our little hole. Now you can do keyboard on this or mouse to control it. You can do click, click, click on the mouse. I sort of have developed like a little hybrid system for doing mine. I use keyboard and mouse all at the same time. So we can see the depth of the water over here is 46 feet. We've got our little scoop here so we can get our slush out. Over here we can select which rod we want to use. We can select what lure we're going to use. I'm using the Red Devil. Hook, we can set what larvae we're going to use. I'm going to use the red larvae. All right, and then as far as an attractant, we've got our attractant selected, and down here in the bottom is how you interact with everything. If you want to drop your line in the water, you hit that. If you want to add a little attractant into the water, you click that. If you need to put a worm on your a grub onto your lure, you click over here and then click there and it drops it in the water. As far as pull controls, you use your left mouse button. You click anywhere on the screen and that allows you to move it around, right, left, up, down. And basically what you want to do is just kind of move your line around until you see the tip of your rod bend a little bit. And when you do, you want to pull the line out of the water. Now, I highly recommend that you do this with the keyboard because your reaction times have to be pretty quick on this. You can do it several different ways. To land the fish, you've got to basically jerk it out of the hole. That's the whole premise of the thing. So you can either do it by lifting your line straight up using your rod, which I'll show you that in just a second. So we caught a perch and got that. After we catch it, we have to rebait our hook. So I come down here. I can either hit B to bait on my keyboard, or I can click on the little bait button down there. And then to put the line back in the water, I can either hit F on my keyboard, or I can click on the reel here, or I can click on this. Yeah, I can click on the reel and put it in. Now, landing the fish, let's assume the rod is bending. If I'm left click on the reel and you see it's got that little twick in it when I do it. If I've left clicked, if I want to pull the lure out of the line, I can lift straight up and let off the mouse button and it will pull it out of the thing. That's one way you can land a fish. All right. The second way you can land a fish is if it starts to twitch, you can just hit that button and it lands the fish. Or the third way is you can just hit F on your keyboard, which is the way I recommend you do it. If you're going to have your hand on the mouse keyboard, if you're going to be moving around a little bit, to present your lure. But if you're just sitting here letting it sit, trying to ice fish this way, then it doesn't matter. You can have your mouse over that little button right there, and as soon as you see the pole twitch, you can hit the fish and get it. But if you're moving it around a little bit, sort of doing a presentation on your lure, you won't be able to react fast enough to get over there and hit it, and you'll run the risk of losing the fish. You do have to react pretty quick on it. So what I like to do is I like to control it with the mouse, but I like to keep my finger on the F button, and that way as soon as I see the pole twitch, I can go ahead and do it. At the same time, I keep another finger on the R button, because R is for your slush scoop, and I can just have it come over here, scoop out the slush, and be able to keep one finger on the landing button and one finger on the slush button, and good to go. All right, so I'm going to hit B on my keyboard, and that's going to put another worm on for me, or another larvae on for me. F throws it back into the hole, and that way you can see that I'm just using the keyboard to do all the controls here. And the only thing I'm using the mouse for is just to move the rod side to side, do a little presentation of my lure, move it up and down, right, left, and just try to draw a little attention to it. Shake, shake, shake that thing, you know. Daddy always said you can't catch anything if you don't use your lure. So I was a little slow there. I had my finger on the D button instead of F. So I missed one. But that's alright. I'll bait back up. And again, since my mouse was down here, I just went ahead and clicked on it. Again, I use a pretty hybrid method of fishing, in that sometimes I'll click, sometimes I'll use the keyboard. And I just try to walk y'all through and tell you what I'm doing, so that way you guys know. Alright, so work that lure. And we'll just wait until we see the rod tip bend. Now I have to confess, I've never done any ice fishing, so I really don't know techniques or anything for ice fishing. And I don't know that techniques really matter so much in the game. I don't know if you can just let it sit just like this and just wait for the fish to, you know, hit it, or if moving it side to side works. To me, making it swim around and look like it's actually alive, you know, would mean something. So again, when you see your water change and start hazing up a little bit, you want to scoop your slush out. If you let it ice up too much or slush up too much, oop, got a fish on. And I got a roach. 0.19 pounds. We call that the, that's not even a quarter pounder or a fillet of fish. Alright, so we are baited up again and ready to go. So let's put our line back in the hole. And we'll slush that out real quick, even though it didn't need it. And just work it side to side. But if you let your hole slush up too much, you'll notice you'll move your line, but the line will in the water will stay right where it's at. We'll let that slush up pretty good. It looks like there's 3 stages of water in this. Blue, the dark blue like it is right now is good clean water, and that's where you want it to be for the fishing. It'll haze up a little bit, and that will be your first stage of slush. It'll haze up a little bit more. That'll be your second level of slush. And then the line will basically just be frozen. Wow, that was a good sized perch. That'll help us out in the competition. Nice. Nice sized perch. Nice. Like it, like it, like it. Alright, so put that line back into the water. And we'll basically just kind of just chill out here. So see, we've hazed up a little bit more. It's starting to get a little slushy. And you'll also see your line just kind of reacts a little bit slower in the hole. The more it slushes up. And basically, you'll just kind of wiggle around, move around, twitch that line around. To me, you'd want to work it, jig it up and down, and just kind of, you know, present that lure a little bit down there in the water. I was reading a little bit about the game before I actually started playing it. and about their fish AI, how it's a swarm, and just about a little bit of this and that about the game. But apparently they've got a little AI in there to where the fish do move around in packs. So I'm not sure if you should like periodically get up and move, or if staying in the same spot is a good idea. I did pretty good the first round just staying in the same spot. Maybe I found a hot spot that was really good and I lucked out, but you know, I fished right in this general area. I moved maybe twice during that time. So I'm going to purposely let my fish hole kind of freeze up a little bit this time before I slush it out, just to let you guys see what happens here. So I haven't had any issues with line breakage. I did when I was reading, just glancing over the documentation for the game to see what the controls were and how to play and everything else like that. I did notice they said something about lift it out real quick. That way you won't break your line or something else like that. So I don't know if line breakage is a thing or not. Again, there is some online documentation. You can read a little bit more about it. I'll link that in the show notes, what was given to me, and you guys can go read a little bit about it as well. So the game is on Steam. It released April the 19th. And this really wasn't on my radar. Like I said, I was fortunate enough that the developer contacted me, gave me a key to play the game for early, you know, just to check it out and do a review on it. And, you know, I'm all about fishing games, and especially since, like I said, we fished together with a whole lot of people in some other games. And one thing I always heard from all the people who live up north was, man, we went ice fishing. We went ice fishing. So the fact that somebody approached me with an ice fishing game, I was like, well, I definitely got to check this out, you know, and see what it's all about. So, all right, so let's move this around a little bit. I'm surprised my hole hasn't frozen up yet. I'm purposely trying to get it to freeze up. But anyways, the guy sent me a key this morning. I checked out the game. He sent me some information as well as about the game. Okay, so you can see my line is now really starting to be affected by the water and how thick it is. And I reacted a little bit too slow to that fish being on. Yeah, see my line's pulling through it like it's pulling through molasses right now. So it's got to get pretty slushy. And again, I'm purposely not scooping it. For those who are saying, you need to fish out your slush. I'm purposely not doing it right now just because I want you guys to see what happens. Oh yeah, it's getting real slow. Which is awesome that they've got that built in the game. I think that's a cool little effect that they've got, that if you let your hole freeze up too much, the line just doesn't want to move. Yeah, it's frozen in place now. It will not move at all. So again, now I got to slush it out. There we go. So you don't want it to get to that point. That was an extreme for me, just to show you what would happen. I think it's great that they've got that built into the game. It shows they did a lot of really thinking on the coding side of it. And the fact that it's a gradual thing, that it just doesn't happen all of a sudden. Like, you don't go 60 seconds and then it turns one stage, 60 seconds it turns in the second stage, and 60 seconds more your line is frozen solid. The fact that it was so gradual, I think, is really cool. Oh, I don't know if I got it or not. I did. I hit the wrong button. I hit my button for my slush scoop there. Alright, so bet up. So every once in a while I get this sound effect, and you guys hear it right now. It sounds like a fish flopping around on ice. For the first part of it, it kind of freaked me out. I don't know what it is about games like this, like any sort of wilderness games. When I'm stuck by myself in a wilderness game like this, I always have this fear that a wolf or something's going to come up behind me and I'm going to get attacked or mauled. I know it's not built into the game, but it's just one of those feelings you get, like, and Am I gonna get attacked while I'm playing this? That or the crazy, you know, ice fisherman who's lost his wife and his kids and goes postal and he just splits your head open with an axe while you're fishing. I watch too many Stephen King flicks, huh? Oh, there's fish. Yeah, another roach. Half pounder almost. Scoop out that line, bait up our hook, and we'll do it again. Could you imagine that being part of the game? Oh, and by the way, while you're out on the ice fishing, be sure to look over your shoulder every once in a while and don't get killed by Crazy Carl. Carl's a deranged lunatic that lives in the cabins in the area. He's been known to stalk the lake. you never, that, I mean, that would really add a bit to it. You're walking across the lake, you know, trying to scout out a good place to go fish. You come across an auger and a hole and somebody's chair and their gear and everything laying on the ice and some drag marks, and you're like, yeah, I don't know if I really want to fish here. Oh, a little bit slow on that one. So we got some pretty good fishing going on here, but I'm thinking like after this one, maybe we throw a little lure into the water and see if that picks up the pace a little bit. I really haven't used the lure at all. To be honest with you, I started my first round and I fished the first 5 or 6 minutes without a bite at all. I was fishing with a different lure, and I switched over to this little red one and had pretty good luck with it. And I didn't have like I said, all I had was the red larvae, and that was it. Then I ran completely out, and I still had like 20 minutes left in the tournament because I fished a 45-minute tournament, and I still had 20 minutes left to go, so I walked back up to the weigh place, and I found the bait shop, bought some more worms, and I thought, well, I'll buy some larvae too while I'm at it. And but I only had like, by the time I got back out on the ice, I bought 10 more. I bought 10 larvae. I went back out on the ice. I fished a little bit more. I didn't put a bait on. I fished a little bit more. I ended up fishing all 10 of those out and thought, well, you know, I still got like 8 minutes left in this fishing tournament, so I might as well go buy some more worms. And while I was up there, I bought the larvae too. I thought, well, I'll give them a chance. And I thought they would be something that you would put on your line, on a hook, to actually use as a bait on the hook. But instead, they're an attractant. You sprinkle them in the water. So, but I only had like 8 minutes to fish with them, so I really don't know how well they work. And I probably am doing something completely wrong here, because now that I think about it, I have like yellow larvae but a red bait. Maybe I should have had like red larvae to attract them in, and then there's the red worm or whatever. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, that's a good sized perch there. Yeah, baby. I must not be doing too much wrong. But you know what I mean? Because if we click on this, it's golden balls. Maybe I should have red balls or something, you know? But we'll sprinkle a few little balls into the water just to do a little more attracting. And we've got our red larvae on here that we're going to fish with. I keep, apologies if I get the terminologies messed up. To me, it's a worm. And even in the documentation, it says fish with a worm as much as possible, but I don't have worms, I have larvae. So that maybe that's where I'm getting confused up, because when I did pre-read on this stuff, it did say something to the effect of fish with a worm as much as you can for maximum effectiveness. So we're doing pretty good though. We got a pretty good amount of fish here. If we hit escape, it will show us our game that we have 5.7 pounds of fish. 3 perch, 7 roach, and we're doing pretty good. But you can never have enough. Not until the very end, and they say you win. Oh, there's another fish. Another good-sized perch. Man, we rack up a few more perch like that, and we're a shoe-in on this contest. All right, another big bait. But there's that sound again, and the best as I can figure out, that's the sound of a fish flopping around on ice, maybe. Maybe it's somebody walking around behind you or something. But I haven't really been able to figure it out. The reason I think it's the sound effect of a fish on ice is I'll get it like when I catch a fish, and then when I catch the next fish and the fish plops down on the ground, that sound will go away. So I think maybe it's just sort of a loop that gets stuck or something like that. Or maybe it's there to simulate the sound of your fish flopping around on the ice. Maybe that, or Carl is walking around behind me on the ice, pacing back and forth. Any minute now, it's going to bludgeon me across the top of the head with an axe. Yeah. Oop. Too slow. You missed. Scuba a hole out. Oh, the remnants of once was larvae is on there. Some of these, like I said, some of your reaction times have to be really fast on this in order to land the fish, because sometimes you'll get like bob and you can just be real lethargic at it and still land it. Other times you get that little twitch, and if you don't hit it immediately, you don't get it. So me, I prefer bob lethargic, because I get the fish and it gets done, and honestly, some of the times that I've done that, the better the pull on the pole, the bigger the fish. So, all right, so we got 9 minutes and 11 seconds to go, and basically the time on this, you can fish just about up until about a minute and a half, depending on how far you are from the weigh area. You fish for a pretty good distance of time and still make it back over there. As long as you're loaded up and walking with a minute left, you can get back over there. If you don't get back to the starting area by the end of the timer, you're disqualified from the competition. So you have to make your way back to the starting area in order to be counted. Yeah, there's another good perch. That's what I'm talking about. This is on fire. Oh yeah. Put that little red devil in there and let's keep on fishing. So yeah, 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go. And as you can see, you go through larvae pretty quick in this. So, but even if one fish, one larvae yields one fish, you're pretty good. You're going to need about at least 25 to get you through 30-minute, 45-minute fish session. You would need at least 30 worms, I would say, 30 larvae. The bait attractant, I don't know that much about the attractant, so as long as you've got a jar of it on you, I would think you were okay. Now, I think I'm going to fish just for the sense of trying something different out. I think I'm going to go ahead and fish, catch one more fish on this red devil, and then switch over to the next bait that I have, which is a little bit different shape, and we'll see if we catch anything on it. Oh, there's our fish. And it's a roach. Half a pounder though. It's funny, they flop down like fish sticks already frozen as soon as you get them out of the ice. All right, so we come over here, and again, we have the Blue Beast is the name of the lure that we're going to use this time. So we'll select it, and it will tie it on for us. There we go. Now we have the Blue Beast. But here's the thing with the Blue Beast. I can't put anything on the Blue Beast as far as any kind of bait. So again, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of magic dust into the water here, and see what happens. You can change the hook out on it. Now I have the standard hook on here. There's all those other hooks that you can buy that are a little decorative, and maybe that's the trick to it. Maybe you've got to go buy the hooks with the little frills on it, and they work better for you. And maybe it's maybe that's not a particular bait to use for this type of lake. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm just trying things out. It's one of those things where I'm going to have to learn a little bit. And again, I'll preface this by saying I don't ice fish. Never done it in my life. I've never actually lived in an area where the ice would freeze. We need to scoop out our water a little bit. So if you notice right there when I scooped, there were two different shades. The first scoop led to a little lighter haze, and then the second scoop gave us that nice rich blue. So that'll show you the stages of the slush that form up in there. Yeah, so I'm presenting my lure a little bit. Oops. Right. I put too much that attractant in the water, it'll nothing will eat, nothing will bite. Yeah, that ain't working. Let's go back to our little red devil. I think this is probably better for another fishing style, but not this particular one. Come on, I wanted to use this one. There we go. And again, this is the first shot at this, so I mean, literally, I fished one time, and I started out with the blue, big blue thing, and didn't have any luck with it the first time I fished. Moved over to this little guy with the worm on it, or the larvae on it, and I had a lot more luck, so that's the reason I have sort of stuck with that in the first place. Why change what's working? Ooh, look at there. Almost a pound on that. I've never heard of that particular fish. I don't even know where this game is like supposed to be set up at. Whether this is an American style, like set up in the Great North, up in the Michigan area or something like that, or if this is more European, something else like that. Not real sure. When I see some of the fish that are in here, though, it makes me think more European stuff. And the fact that it's in English and Finnish makes me even more suspicious that the developers are like Finnish, and that it's more set for that style. Like, honestly, I've never heard of Roach, and I've never heard of maybe I have heard of Roach, but I know that the bream is a European fish. It is not an English fish. So we have brim here, but not bream. And so when I saw some of the fish being said bream, I thought, oh, this is European. Doesn't really matter to me. It's a fishing game, you know. Fishing games are fishing games. Unless you really say, well, I'm going for an American fishing game, and I'm going after American style fish and everything else like that. Well, then it matters. Then technique and what you use, rod reel combinations and stuff like that, then it really starts to matter. But when you're just doing a fishing game that's nondescript. Now look, if they said, well, we're going to do this fishing game and we're going to do ice fishing and we're going to set it up on Lake Okeechobee in Florida, then I'd have a problem with it, you know. Because that would never happen. But, you know, cold day in hell when you ice fish on Lake Okeechobee, but you get my point. It really doesn't matter to me, you know. what the game is or how it's set up, unless you said specifically, well, this is where we're going to fish, and these are the fish that are going to be in that lake. Well, then, if you're targeting for something specific, then it needs to be right. But I really, it's ice fishing. That's the whole point of it. So I don't think it really has any sort of geographical representation in the game. Could be wrong. I could go back and read and find out a little bit more about that. But so I haven't messed around with the game enough to know, like, if you need different augers. Oh, we got to get out of here. We are going to be late. I'm just fishing along, yakking along, and not paying any attention. I need to click on my auger, pack up my stuff, and go. Come on, dude. Oh, no. Run this way. Oh, we may not make it. 39 seconds to get back over here. Everybody's running in. They're like, where's that moose guy? He's sitting there looking at his GoPro, yakking away. He's going to lose. Oh, he can't get up the hill. Come on. Oh, no. Come on. Don't get stuck. Oh, there's the little green circle. Nothing like cutting it close, huh? Woo! I thought we weren't going to make it. Well, we'll see how we did here. And first little fishing experiences in the book. And let's find out. Wonder if everybody made it in. Shing! We win! First place. 10.4 pounds of fish, 16 fish, 1,400 coin added to the book, and we are on our way. So anyways, that's our first look at it today. Ice lakes. Tell me what you think about it down in the description down below, and if you want to see some more video on it. And like what I was about to say was, I haven't messed around with it enough to see if any of these other things are really needed, like different augers. Like if you go to equipment, there's different augers that you can get, like medium titanium. Yeah, most of the fish fit through the hole. Medium width, medium speed, medium standard, medium width, medium speed, heavy tungsten. I don't have enough. I didn't want to buy it anyways. Also, the biggest fish fits through the hole. Oh yeah, if you're fishing for orca, you might need the heavy tungsten. So yeah, I don't see any need really to buy anything bigger than light stand. Oh, smallest fish. So we probably do need to go with a medium or a heavy so that we can get bigger fish through the hole. Okay, that would make sense. Yeah, so if you start catching orcas and then you can't get them through the hole, then that would make sense. I think you've got some different reels here. You got your really tiny ones, like your ultralight stuff here, and then you got some medium and heavy. So yeah, a little bit different equipment. So we haven't really messed with any of that yet. Here's what I was talking about with the hooks. You see, I've got the standard hook, no decor on it at all. Basic hook that can be used with all baits and jigs. And but then you get like the yellow submarine. So it's got a bit of attractant, the African. So we're gonna have to look into these. We're gonna have to mess around with all these lure and hook combinations and stuff like that to see anything about it. But again, let me know what you guys think about the video, think about the game, and thumbs up if you like it. Leave some comments down below. That's how I know what you guys are thinking. And we'll check it out. Again, it is called Ice Lakes. It is in the Steam store now. It is in beta. It's $11.99 right now for the release special. I think there's a little bit of a discount for release date, but it's probably only like 10%. So the game's probably only about $15 in the store. So check it out if you'd like to. And again, come on back and join me in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you consider giving it a like, maybe even sharing it with your friends. It does help me out a tremendous amount and is greatly appreciated. Also, leave some comments down below. That's really the only way I can gauge if you guys are enjoying what's being put out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want daily notifications. I try to do a new video each and every day. Also, if you want to stay in touch with me and find out what's going on, our social links are down in the bottom left-hand corner. Twitter is where I usually announce schedule changes, live streams, and new video releases. Facebook's a great way to get in touch with me if you have any questions to ask. And of course, I am trying to get to 1,000 followers on Google+, which I know I'll probably be old and gray before that happens, but if you can jump over there and follow me, it would be super awesome. So if you like today's video, there's a whole lot more content on the channel. I hope you'll browse through it, find something to keep yourself entertained until the next video or live stream. Speaking of live streams, I try to do them nightly around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Until the next time, thanks again for watching. See you soon.